Hey, what's going on? What's going on, guys? What's going on? Another session down and one more to go. But today's obviously Thursday, 13th. Was a little bit choppy in the markets today. We actually didn't put anything on. We want to talk about, we're looking at obviously 15-minute chart of SPY. We want to talk about what's kind of going on, and we're coming up here on these all-time highs of this 339.08 all-time high for SPY. So clearly everybody sees it. There's no big surprise, and we want to kind of discuss what is kind of going on, right? So any of these like scenarios where you have these selling sprees, right? Selling sprees, emotional selling sprees. All that is doing is enticing the perma bears, the guys that just want to short everything. And, obviously to be able to, trade consistently in any market, you got to be able to trade to the upside and to the downside. But you can't be a perma anything, right? When you start to fight trend, you're literally going to start trying to see things that really aren't there. And this is a pretty crystal clear example of anybody shorting this market other than something that's gapping down on significant news, earnings or whatever that may be, taking advantage of that. That's fine. But if you're shorting pullbacks on an uptrend when there's no news, what are you really doing? What are you selling? You're falling into the trap of the market, right? This selling on Tuesday was just, literally a thing of beauty. This thing was quite interesting how it just literally fell off a cliff, and then what happened yesterday opened up and then continued to trade higher. It took out the previous session highs. So today you're not really doing much. SPY's up half a point. Obviously with the 339 on overhead. So let's kind of get out a little bit. Let's look at the daily, right? So you see this V-shape. V-shape recovery is in. We had this interesting pullback. This was pretty significant pullback. So people were thinking, all right, you know what, we're not going to make it. We're not going to make it. And guess what? When it took out those highs, where's it going to go? All right. So the elephant in the room is what is going to happen at 339.08. Most likely, 99.9%, you're going to bust through it and then get those chasers think it's going to go to the moon, which is completely nonsense. So you have to expect the unexpected. You have to expect that. Think of like a carrot being dangled in front of a horse's mouth, right? So you got guys buying anything they can because they think it's just going to continue to run, and rightfully so. There's some pretty good proof that everything's going up. These are storms, emotional storms. All these pullbacks are emotional storms. So do you want to withstand the storm? Which is fine, you can. That's another way of trading. But at what cost? How big is the storm? How much money do you got? Right? It doesn't matter. Even if you're having to count 7-8 figures. We aren't holding through any of these bullshit storms. All right? We're not holding through any of these things. You have a small account or you have a big account. It doesn't matter. Be smart. Be smart because you know how the market operates. You know how the boys on the street move, right? So when you think you can't take it anymore, guess they're going to push it a little bit further, and you'll end up stopping out at the bottom, and you're going to get that reversal. It's going to piss you off, right? So instead of trying to withstand the storm and hold through any of these emotional moves, whenever you see something like that kicking off, just get out. Cut your losses. Don't try to hold through because it can't go any further. Granted, this was a technical level, sure, but you had to endure a lot if you're even trading the CTF. But guess what? Many securities, pretty much mirror SPY. So if you're trading something else like a UAL, for example, if you're trading something else that runs with SPY, it's going to dump off of SPY. So the reason why we wanted to put up this video was to let you know that obviously, a very significant level is coming up. And, you're seeing a little bit of a behavioral change right now, right? So it's a very strong uptrend. And obviously after that emotional orchestration on Tuesday into the close, we're having a little bit of just a slow kind of a grind, right? We're up less than half a point, right? And what do we got? Another 3 hours or 2 hours ago in the session. So you want to expect the unexpected. You want to go into all your trades expecting the drastic to happen. So what are we trying to say? Trade clean. All right? Trade clean. This video is about what to expect. Obviously these all-time highs, but what you're going to see across all sectors. If you trade charts that are clean charts, I'm not talking about charts that strong, long wicks, long candles. Okay, that's in the beginning of the session. Those are orders being filled. That's fine. But by 10 a.m., everything should smooth out. At least the securities that you're paying attention to. If 10:30 comes around and that thing's still spiking around, that's not for your attention. It shouldn't be for your attention. You want smooth candles, because smooth candles trending are easy to spot when an erratic behavior pops on board. All right, so when you're trading smooth, the behavioral change is clear. When you trade smooth, nice trade, smooth trend break to the upside or trend break to the downside, they're clear, easy to trade. Nice clean pullback, holds, add, and then you scale in, scale out, right? But if you're trading these long wicks, these long candles, erratic sizes, it's tough to gauge what's going on overall, right? So expect a lot of those random candles, those stocks that trade like that, to really kick it up around these levels, because there's going to be just traps all over the place. Listen, there's traps every day in the market. We talk about that all the time. But mitigate that risk. So avoid those securities that are trading that way. Stick to securities that are smooth. Candles are smooth. The moves are more predictable. So when you're wrong, you clearly know you're wrong and you get out, right? And when you're right, then you obviously add your position and you exit or you scale out when behavior changes. So obviously SPY's here, right? The recovery's here. There is complete disconnect, obviously, between the economy and Wall Street. The election's here, so we all know that we have a unlimited bidder, obviously the Fed. So all these things make for the storm, right? Instability. But there was a lot of value at the bottom of this, obviously, V-shaped recovery. So that's why you see a lot of these, boys buying this stuff up. Is this sustainable? That's the kind of the elephant in the room. That's the question. Is it sustainable? And we think it's not. Obviously, listen, like anything else, everything's going to quote unquote get back to normal, whatever normal is. There may be a new normal, but business is going to be open again. There might be a different way of doing business, which maybe is a good thing. But, life as we kind of knew it will be relatively normal, quote unquote, again. So that's what this run up is for, right? The optimism. That being said, the realism is going to be setting in. The record unemployment, the record foreclosures, mortgage foreclosures in the United States are going to be setting in. Jobless citizens that can't pay their bills are going to be set in. All this stuff's going to set in. Like, you have businesses open, but if people don't have jobs to spend money at your business, what good is it? So there's going to be a shift in things. So, this optimism of the market pushing higher like this is great, right? It's very positive. But sustainability is the biggest question, right? So we want you guys to understand and expect a lot of chop, a lot of turmoil in the near future, right? And we're talking about now, even until the end of the year. At least until the election's over. When the election's over, things should settle down a little bit more. And obviously we'll have a better hold on the pandemic. That being said, avoid the chop. Avoid those securities that aren't smooth. You know the ones. When you're scanning, you're looking at, say, you're looking at 10, 15 securities, and of those 10 or 15, only 5 are really clean charts. Just scrap the other 10, right? Only focus on the 5. Reason being is it's going to it's going to highly eliminate those erratical moves, the questionable moves, which are coming, right? And Tuesday's sell-off was a perfect example, right? This was another. I mean, it happens every single day. Some days more extreme than the other. But point is, expect it coming. Trade smooth charts to the upside and to the downside. Obviously, there's opportunity upside and to the downside. It doesn't matter what trend the market is in. Uptrend, there's plenty of opportunity to the downside and vice versa. But remember, don't fight trend. If an individual security is selling off on an uptrend, make sure there's a good, solid reason to it. And there's always reasons to it, but confirm that. Make sure it's not just a pullback. But anyway, guys, we don't want to keep going on. We just want to kind of give you our insights of what we're looking at ourselves. We know what's coming up. So keeping it clean. That's it. Just keep it clean. And today we didn't trade at all. If there is a session that none of your securities are doing what you think they're going to do, don't force something. Take the day off. That's why we work for ourselves, guys. That's why we have no boss. Remember, a real boss has no boss. That's why you trade this business, right? Don't force something that isn't there. So if something's not there, don't trade. And we didn't trade today, right? Because we didn't, on our watch list, we didn't like what we were seeing, and that's it. So know when to walk away, guys, right? And today was one of those days, for us anyway. Hopefully some of you guys took advantage of something else. But this is what you have to understand is that discipline, right? You got to have that discipline, that knowing when it's not a day for you, right? And you might have more of those days coming up because we expect some chop coming up, more chop than normal. And if those days come up board and nothing on your watch list is showing any opportunity, walk away. All right, go enjoy the sunshine. It's nice outside. All right, guys, that's it. Tomorrow's Friday. Obviously, as you guys know, Friday's a volatile day. Sometimes you trade, sometimes you don't, but we'll see. We'll put something up if we like something to give our attention to. We'll put up a video for you guys if so. So either way, that's it, guys. Have any questions for us? We're always here for you. And that's it, guys. All right, have a good night. Later.
Remember to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any of our trading videos.